Hi, thank you for inviting me to speak to you about climate change in the world of work. The way we live, work and play will have to change if we're to achieve the ambitious targets Scotland set itself. The trick will be to transition from existing jobs and industries into jobs which help us get to net zero. Car mechanics will have to update their skills for electric cars, gas boilers will be phased out, and new technologies like hydrogen will be introduced. We'll need to plant more trees and sequester carbon by restoring our peat bogs. Advances in technology mean we have much more information or data to inform our decisions about what we need to do. There are opportunities to improve our working lives by automating tasks. Some jobs will disappear, but many more can be created. Renewable energy, retrofitting our buildings, reducing, reusing and recycling, or circular economy in the jargon, changes in how we farm and produce food. We'll need to keep learning throughout our lives, and workers will need to be supported to continually refresh, update and develop new knowledge and skills. Core skills are likely to include carbon literacy, digital literacy, resource efficiency and innovation problem solving. Scotland still bears the scars of industrial transformation from when we closed our coal mines and stopped steel production. This time, we need to ensure that no community or individual is left behind as we transition from high carbon industries like oil and gas and new green industries rise. We call it a just transition. So what do we need to do to skill the workforce for the future? And where are we starting from? Well, a very high proportion of our businesses in Scotland are small businesses. Before the pandemic, 2 in 3 employers in Scotland did not have a training budget. Understandably, many of them have been focused on saving existing jobs and are unsure about what skills they will need in the future, for example. There's a need for flexible and tailored, bite-sized learning opportunities which are accessible to all, and greater support to employers for reskilling and upskilling for workers, especially workers in mid or late careers, so that they can move into a new green sector of the economy. Our Upskilling Scotland report called for universities and colleges to expand their offer with support of government, so that we can have degrees that are unbundled and have them in modules. We also called for everyone in Scotland to have a lifelong entitlement to learning with an upskilling and lifelong learning fund, which would empower every adult to partly or wholly fund reskilling or upskilling opportunities at any stage of their life or career. Our Clean Growth Manifesto calls for a culture of and entitlement to lifelong learning. It also calls for schools, colleges, universities, training providers and employers to embed core green skills and carbon literacy right across curricula, professional development and work-based learning. We've also called for a national service for net zero, a programme of employment and volunteering opportunities across the public, private and third sectors, backed by a green skills passport. Such a scheme would need to be voluntary and it would need to be accessible to all. For some, the move to home working and remote working over the last 6 months has been beneficial. Not having to commute has clear benefits for carbon reduction, but not every job can be done at home, and there's been a huge reduction in those using public transport. Whilst it's been great to see more people walking and cycling, the risk of a car-led recovery is real. Many of us won't return to the 9 to 5, but technology or lack of it can reinforce inequalities. People on lower incomes may be in crowded accommodation or have caring responsibilities. Hybrid working has placed greater pressure on women who traditionally take on more of the caring responsibilities. And finally, whilst I've talked to you today about work, the real key to tackling climate change is to think about the system as a whole and how changes in the world of work impact on other areas like travel or housing, or whether the burden of change is being fairly distributed or placed on those that are least able to pay for it. Thank you for listening.